Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jessica Rich, and on this channel, we talk about all things self worth, self love, self care, self development, anything that helps you become a better version of yourself. We talk about it on this channel. Now, if you've been following my journey of leaving corporate America and walking in my purpose, then you know this has been a season of faith, straight faith, courage, and definitely just growth. Today, I want to talk about something that hits home, not just for me, but for a lot of us right now. And it's how to stay grounded and focused on your purpose when everything around you feels uncertain, right? When you think about where we are in this economy, in the world right now, there's just a lot going on and it's hard to process it. So when you think about the economy being up, sometimes you're up with it, sometimes you're down. People are losing their jobs. Things just really feel unstable. And even if you are not directly impacted, what I mean is you haven't lost your job or some of the benefits, you can absolutely still feel the weight of it all, right? Especially if you're a person that loves to look at the news, you go to TikTok, social media, or you just watch the news on TV. It can really, really weigh you down. And I want to be very honest. When I took my leap of faith, the timing wasn't perfect. I'm very honest about that. The world wasn't stable, but I reached a point where I couldn't ignore my purpose and I couldn't return to the environment. And if you're in that space, I want to speak to you today because I know that there can be this battle in your mind about what to do, how you're feeling, how to get to a space that feels comforting, which may feel impossible right now. And the one thing that I've learned on this journey is that uncertainty doesn't necessarily cancel out your purpose. If anything, it makes your purpose speak louder. It really will start to get your attention in different ways. And so I want to ask you and really, really have you tap into like, what is your purpose saying to you? Because at those times when it gets louder, it will make you really like think who you really are, what really matters, what is your true desire. And I don't sit here and pretend that navigating this season is easy. I think it's so important for me to be transparent with you all because I definitely don't want to tell anyone to go quit your job to do something that's going to affect you, especially if you have other responsibilities, right? I'm a single woman, it's just me. And so I definitely would never do that. But I want you to know that, as I navigate this season, it's not easy. I do have moments where I still question myself. There's moments where fear kind of creeps in, and it may try to get loud. And I have to wonder, like, girl, you are you built for this? Like, is entrepreneurship really what you can do and handle? And you know what? In those times when I'm starting to feel that way, when it creeps in, when it gets loud, I have to just be intentional about reminding myself that all you need is a mustard seed of faith. That's what helped me make this decision to take this leap. And so I repeat that to myself. All you need is a mustard seed of faith. And it truly brings me comfort. And so I just want to share some things that I'm doing in this season that hopefully it will help you. I don't want to come here with tips and all these things of a list of stuff to do, but I just want to be transparent about what's helping me because I know that right now the uncertainty really, really has people just questioning themselves. It's so hard to look at the future, but we need to just stay in the present and stay grounded. And so I just want to share how I'm connecting with myself, remaining connected with my purpose, and when things feel shaky, like what I'm doing just to remain focused. And so I have been spending a lot of time just grounding myself. And what I mean by that is like connecting with my why. Why am I doing this? Why am I here? Why did I start? Why do I continue? And when that fear starts to come and creep in, I just go back to why I left corporate America, why I felt that it was time, the things that I was experiencing. Of course, there's so many things that I could say like shoulda, coulda, woulda, and I try not to get caught into that. But I go back to the why of what I did, and why I'm here, and the decisions that I made, whether that's my entrepreneurship opportunity full time, and then also just me going into higher education. The reason why I said yes to myself is truly what helps me just keep focused, stay encouraged, and not shrink like I was doing before. Like I refuse to shrink again and put myself in a box. And so I definitely have to go back to my why. And that has been really, really helpful. I've been really intentional about limiting the noise, right? Distractions, outside voices. Everybody does not deserve a seat in your head. Whew. Okay. Everybody does not deserve a seat in your head, especially in a season that requires you to be brave and to have courage. Self doubt in itself comes from a lot of times just conversations that we've had either as children or as we've been growing up. And those little voices and things that we've heard just kind of replays in our mind. And so when you think about not allowing people to have a seat in your head, it's also about canceling out those people who may not be supportive, who may be negative or may be draining. And so you have to be so intentional. I've had to step back from conversations, limit certain environments, not be in certain environments at all. And at times, just limit social media. It can be so time consuming, but also it can consume so much of your mental capacity. And so, for me to protect my peace, those are things that I'm doing to intentionally protect my energy and keep myself in a good place. Also, I have to remind myself that it's okay to slow down. I'm always on the go, and I do a lot of things. I am extra, is what I call it, and a lot of times that's not good. It makes me anxious, and I don't know why I don't learn from that. But right now, I'm in a season of learning and reminding myself to slow down. And so, when you have uncertainty and there's so much going on, and then you're anxious, the first instinct is to panic. It's to start rushing. And so I just have to slow myself down, because when you think about wanting to have that sense of clarity about your purpose and what you're doing, that usually comes when it's quiet, when you're still. And so I just been intentional about my time and what I'm doing. I also have been intentional about journaling and praying. And I'm not a huge journaler, so I will say, like, I don't journal every day, but I also will do some voice recording journaling. So maybe just recording my thoughts versus writing them down. But that has really, really helped me. And so it's also helped me slow down. And so that's one thing that I would definitely share that I'm doing that has been helpful. And then also community. Let me tell you, this season, community has been everything. Not just like to have bodies around, but to have people to pour into me, that I can pour into, that I can surround myself with, who understand the journey, who affirm me, who support me, who encourage me. That has kept me grounded in ways that I can't even imagine. I can't explain it. It's not always just other coaches, other entrepreneurs, not just family and friends. It's truly like a collective of people. And so when you think about walking your purpose, at times it can feel very lonely. I will say that. I've talked about that before on this channel, talked about it with my therapist. But in this season, it's like walking in this purpose, I need community. And so you cannot walk alone. Find a community and people who will support you. And so that's something that I've been very intentional about, and knowing those individuals that I need to go to in those moments where I just am, a little bit of self-doubt. And I go to them. And so that has been very helpful. And so if you are in a season where the world feels just truly uncertain, which I think a lot of us are, but something inside of you still is saying, like, move forward, pursue your purpose, don't give up. I want you to know that even though this economy and this world is just crazy right now, you're not crazy, right? You're not irresponsible. You're not imagining that you can be successful. You're not imagining that it can absolutely work. I think that you're being guided to your calling and what you should do. And so find that balance of how you can find that harmony. I love this in harmony and integration, but find that healthy balance and integration of being able to do it all if you're not in a place to walk away, right? Even if you're taking small steps, it's still towards your goal. And even if you just have faith and you're doing what you can based on the capacity that you have, that is completely okay. Try to keep your faith steady. Try to focus on one day at a time, not necessarily looking 6 months out, 90 days out, 12 months out. If you don't have that capacity, take one day at a time and just remind yourself that you are making steps towards your goal, to continue to move, keep moving. Know that you are moving, even though it feels like you may not be. Take inventory and account of like your small wins. So you are reminded that you're moving, that you're growing, and that you are becoming who you want to become, that person. And I think it's so important that we sometimes have to check ourselves or remind ourselves of the things that we've done. Goodness knows that I too like have to celebrate myself and remind myself of small or and big wins. And so if it's anything that I can just remind you before I wrap up this video is purpose doesn't disappear just because times get hard, just because there's moments of uncertainty. Purpose probably shows up the most in those moments to remind you of exactly who you are, your purpose, and what you're called to be. And so don't question yourself, don't limit yourself, don't doubt yourself. Walk into it. And so whether you're preparing to take your leap of faith, whether you're already walking in it, if you're already walking in it and you're just questioning if you made the right decision, you did. Just remind yourself all you need is a mustard seed of faith. All you need is a mustard seed of faith, and stay faithful and trust the process. And I know that's easier said than done. For those of you who are questioning like when the time is right, or if you should even pursue your purpose, or you're trying to discover your purpose, know that you're not alone. There's so many people that are going through the same thing. And so know that you got this. But if you can do anything as you go along, whatever journey you're walking, you have to protect your peace. You have to protect your energy. And most importantly, you have to protect your purpose. So I appreciate you watching my YouTube channel and supporting me. If you're in this season and you need any encouragement, please drop down in the comments. I would love to support you and share some encouraging words. But as always, I appreciate your support and just you walking along this journey with me in this season. And until the next time, I hope that you have a good day. Bye.